Okay, Tom, this is Rick Wilsey commenting on your initial training lesson here at Kegel Training Center on November the 19th, 2010. This is one of your first videos of the day we're looking at right now. You had a pretty good stance here. You look pretty athletic. I like the fact that you've got a lot of support in your non-bowling hand here with the ball. Your feet are angled toward your target line. Your hips are angled toward your target line. Your shoulders are also angled in the same direction. You've got some forward tilt here. We decided it was because you're holding the ball a little bit out in front, but and the ball isn't quite lined up with your bowling eye. We see the bowling eye here, and I drew a blue line down through the ball. It's a little bit outside, probably an inch or inch and a half we talked about is all you needed to move as far as getting some side tilt to get that line up like you're looking down the rifle sight or down a pool cue if you're playing billiards. And I think you did tell me that right away you saw a new sight picture when we had you move over and tilt. And that gives you a clear picture of where the ball is going to go throughout the delivery. And that's what we're trying to achieve, is getting that sight picture by having the head and the bowling eye over the ball. Okay? So that's one of the things we did. And let's take a look at the rest of your delivery. I'll put it in real time and give you a chance to watch it in full speed. And notice that you step left with your first step and then left again across with your other steps. So your body does go from right to left, opening up a swing slot. The ball does go a little bit outside your shoulder, but you nicely tuck it in at the backswing so it's behind your head for the downswing. Let's slow this down just a little bit now. There's that tuck in. You step center to the finish, and the follow through comes up right through the face, which we showed you with Chris Barnes and Tommy Jones and a few other players how important that is. And let's watch now at your release. There's that step to the left. There's a step across in front. Ball goes in the swing. Ball's in line with your shoulder and then tucks in behind your head for that inside out pro swing. Your arm is out to the side. We tried testing you with a little bit of the arm out in front. I think that's something you should work on and try to incorporate in your game. Let's watch the finish here as you slide toward the center, and the ball is released well inside that eye line. The blue line from your eye right there is well inside. Your thumb is in front there, pretty much like the Barnes video we looked at. Coming up the ball, elbow stays pretty much in, pretty straight actually, right through the face. A little bit of a bounce, not much there. Pretty smooth release, a lot of revs and rotation. And I'd like you to hold that position at the balance point a little longer with that foot down on the deck. We'll give you a better position. But we also looked at your knee position, and I drew that line through your hip to your knee to your ankle. It's a pretty straight line here, indicating that your knee is pretty well protected by your slide stance. So that's something that's also good for your longevity in the sport as you go on and consider maybe doing the senior tour later when you're a little older. And so you've got a very nice game. Your Cats numbers were very good at the pro level. You're able to repeat shots very well. So we began with a pretty high level game here. We wanted to take it a little further. You wanted to increase and be able to vary your ball speed, and I think we achieved that goal, definitely. So let's look at another view. Let's look at the side view now. Your first side view shot of the day. And we looked at your back tilt. It's about 25 degrees here in this particular video. Let's do this at full speed as well. Notice the rhythm that you have. We'll count your steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a good rhythm for a 5-step delivery. If it was a 4-step, we'd say it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But for 5 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you do right here. And this particular shot, you're more balanced at the line. I like to see you keep that kind of balance in all your shots. Let's now stop it right here at the beginning and take a look at some of the things we worked on changing. We tried to give you a little bit less back tilt because we felt some of the tilt here was because you're holding the ball so far out in front of you. If I draw the line here, you can see from your torso, you've got the ball quite a ways out here in front, which puts a little more stress on your forearm and your hand and more stress on your back to hold the ball. That's why you have to have this tilt to keep it in place. And Furthermore, when you put the ball into the swing, here's step one, the ball doesn't move, but in step two, the ball goes even further forward, and the elbow moves, you can see, just a little bit past your torso. Here's your elbow, so it extends out a little bit forward. So when your foot is down, the ball is about knee high, which is good, but we decided to put the ball a little bit closer to you in the setup, take a little bit of pressure off your forearm and your hand, and then just to hinge the ball from that elbow tucked to the side position rather than moving the ball forward like you do in this particular video. So we're saying now we wanted the ball closer and to hinge just from that close position into the swing, and you finish here with a good finish position. Your timing is good here. You release the ball between the heel and the toe. We also talked about releasing the ball a little bit more down into the lane rather than out onto the lane, landing it more like an airplane on a runway with less bounce and less loss of energy. But overall, a very good delivery, and obviously you've got all the signs of a well tuned game from way back where you had some good coaches and good instructors, and you put a lot of time and dedication in developing the game that you have now, which is a very good game. Okay, let's look at the back view just to see if we see anything in the back view. Again, we can see that you step a little bit left and you cross over a little bit left. Ball goes into the swing more toward the center of your body and then flares out a little bit, but then is nicely tucked as you step back towards center to release it in an inside-out line with the follow-through right through the face. Again, good balance, good angle. We measured the tilt there, found he had a very nice tilt with his blue line, which allows you to keep that ball released under your chin and give you good leverage. And obviously this inside line is one of your favorites. Again, I'd like you to stay down on the shot instead of coming up and stepping off like you do here. I'd like you to stay down in this position and finish it right from there and stay in that position and hold it until the ball hits the pins rather than stepping up and away. That's a good practice habit, I think, for you to develop. But overall, again, I don't see too many major issues here. We'll talk about things in just a minute. Let's look at a release shot now. In this shot, you'll see your arm coming down, and you're a little bit on the outside of the ball. I'd like to see you more on the inside of the ball. You can see here, if I draw a clock face around the ball, that your hand is on the outside of the center of the ball, and your fingers are down around 4 o'clock. Thumb is probably around 1 o'clock in the ball here. And then as you come through in the follow-through, we'll move that clock face down. See here that again your hand is still on the outside of the ball a little bit, and you've already come around a little bit at the time of the release, so you don't have much room to do that quick release and rotation that you saw from players like Sean Rash and Jason Couch. And you see a little bit of bounce here. The ball hits and then bounces and hits again, takes away a little bit of energy from the shot. That's why I'd like to see you land the ball a little bit more like an airplane throw it down into the lane a little quicker and have it land a little smoother. We talked about that, and you did practice that and achieve some success there. Okay? All right. So let's take a look at some of the improvements you made today in our half a day. We have another front shot right here where you look much different. Now we got the look more athletic. You've got your feet lined up more in line with your target, a little bit straighter with your target line, a little more parallel. You've got the bowling eye right over the ball and the bowling arm here. You've got a shoulder tilt. Of about 104 degrees, which isn't too bad. Most of the pros are doing 106 to 115, so you're pretty close to that range. And let's erase these lines real quick and watch you in action. Okay. So this tilt has caused you not to quite step so far left in your first step. Kind of straighten up your approach a little bit. And notice the ball doesn't flare out to the side so much, and there's less need to tuck it in. Let's slow that down so you can see it. It naturally tucks in right behind your head, and the follow through again right through the face. Let's watch it again in slow motion. So I want you to watch the position of the swing. Since the tilt has been incorporated, it's going to go a little bit straighter into the backswing. Right behind your shoulder, tucks in just an inch or two for the finish, and you come in with a nice release. Let's go back to that release and take a look at your, there's that position at the backswing, and then right behind the head at the forward swing, coming down, your hand, thumb in the position that Chris Barnes had his hand in, elbow stays in, follow through comes right up through the face, and the elbow stays in line there. Nice positioning. And I like this angle of your body here. This total angle is pretty close to what we saw with the other top pros that we looked at today. So it's a big improvement. And we had you make that hinge maneuver as well, which we'll show you in the side shot in just a second. Let's do that now. Okay, you can see now the ball is much closer to your body now. You don't have to have as much tilt. We had you raise the tilt about 15 degrees from this 25 here. Let's erase that line now. And let's watch you put the ball into the swing. Step one, the ball really shouldn't move at all. There's step one, the ball's moving just a little bit. Step two, again, you go a little bit forward with the ball, a little more forward than I'd like, but then you do hinge it in the swing right here. Your backswing is higher than in your previous shots, much more free and relaxed and higher. And nice short power step, and then to the finish here with a nice finish and good balance. And you see the ball going down into the lane more in this shot than your previous shot. It's going down into the lane much more like Chris Barnes throws it. So let's watch this again. So we noticed that your ball reaction changed with these adjustments, even though they were minor adjustments in your approach. We noticed big changes in your ball reaction. We also had you adjust your speed from as low as 17 miles an hour up to 21 miles an hour. And without any extra muscle effort, you were able to do that just by changes in your approach, including your change of rhythm, the change of ball height, the change of your stance on the approach forward and back, and your initiation of the ball going in the swing and your footwork. These changes also made you have a little faster feet, which we said was good, and you went with that. And between those faster feet and that freer swing, you were able to get effortless increases in ball speed up to 21 miles an hour, and you're able to relax and slow down and get the ball down as low as 17 miles an hour. So that's a 4 mile an hour variable that you have control over now, that you can adjust to as the lane demands it or requires it. And that's going to really enhance the already good game that you have. And we also taught you some drills, some different drills. We used one called the swing and release, where you get in the position at the foul line. I'll show you the position here. It's basically this position right here, where you just hold the ball at your side in that strong position and swing forward and then back and forward and release the ball with a little open the door rotation. Then we also backed you up to a swing and slide position, step and a half back from the foul line, where you just swing the ball and then slide. And then we also had you do a three-step, which I'll send you the instructions on. I'm just kind of simulating them here on the video, where you took 3 steps quickly and then rolled the ball. And you found that was an ideal technique to use when the lanes are very dry and you have to stand over here in front of the ball return. And you can make some good quality shots with that 3-step drill technique by standing here and throwing the ball out to the right on burnt up lane conditions or difficult patterns. We did talk a bit about axis rotation, which you said you had good control over. We checked your fit today to make sure that your span was correct and your fit, and the tight thumb hole looks like it works well for you. Got out of the ball cleanly throughout the day, so I wasn't too concerned about your fit, although I always encourage you to adjust your fit with tape, as we talked about, and to reassess your fit on a regular basis with your pro shop professional. And you had a good variety of equipment here today, and those things worked out well for you. So I think the main thing we talked about was your ball speed. That increased. I want you to continue to work on balancing at the line and maintaining your balance at the line. That's extremely important for lots of reasons, including being able to take in lots of data on ball motion and ball position as it goes off the deck, and making adjustments to avoid solid 8 pins, solid 9 pins, solid 7s, 4 9s, all those kinds of things that ruin a good string of strikes. And I want the ball to be closer to your body, and we talked about no up in bowling now. When you hinge the ball, it's going to go down. When you throw the ball into the lane or roll it into the lane, it's going to go down. So it's a shorter first step we talked about in your 5-step, taking a little shorter first step and then down and down. So we had a mnemonic we used: short, down, and down. It seemed to work pretty well for you and gave you the right components. And we also looked at some release techniques. Let me show you those and put them on your video here. And we looked at the release of Sean Rash. We saw that in the downswing, his hand is in that position where the thumb's about 1 o'clock, the fingers are 8 or 9 o'clock, and the index fingers are about 6 o'clock. In the downswing, he has his non-bowling arm out in front, as you see here, with the thumb down, almost upside down here. And as he comes to the finish, the index finger points straight at the deck. His fingers are 8 and 9 o'clock, and he just rotates less than a quarter of a turn, Tom, less than a quarter of a turn to 6 o'clock, and then he's out of the ball to get that kind of rotation and roll. Very, very impressive bowler, Sean Rash. We did the same thing with Jason Couch, and essentially the same thing with Chris Barnes. So let's open up a video of Chris. And we'll open up a video of you. Let's look at your last particular video. Of the morning. And let's take a look at the similarities between you and one of the best bowlers in the world right now, according to a lot of people, Chris Barnes. So let's look at your shoulder angle. Chris Barnes has his shoulder tilt. About 102 degrees there, looks like to me. Over here in your video, let's take a look at your shoulder tilt. 104 degrees, so you got a little bit more. And if you look at Chris's bowling eye over here, his eye is coming right down through a good 1/3 of the ball. Over here, your bowling eye is also coming down to about the same part of the ball. Notice that your hand position and support of the ball is very much like Chris's. Your bowling arm position is very much like Chris's. Let's draw the box on your video like we have for Chris. Put the head and the ball in the box like we have for him. Let's put you two in motion. And there's your first step. Let's get Chris's first step. And let's lock those videos together. And let's see what happens here. Chris steps left, you step left. Ball's going down about knee high. He's the same place. Let's get you a little bit better synchronized here because he's at the top of the backswing already. Let's get to the top of your backswing now. Lock them together. The difference I see is Chris has his non-bowling arm out in front, but otherwise your tilt looks pretty good. Let's speed you up a little bit. Can't quite synchronize you just right. Let me just do it manually. Wow, looks pretty close to Chris. Look at the tilt angle. Look at the hand position. Look at the elbow position. Now, Chris's elbow is a little bit in closer to yours, but not much. So, very close comparison here. Follow through, right through the face. Let's get Chris right through the face. Tilt angles are pretty close there. Let's actually measure it and see. I'm interested to hear what we come up with on these. Let's get spine tilt angle here. And let's measure Chris's right across this direction here. That's 48 degrees. Let's go over on you and get spine tilt angle. And let's measure through the same location here. .46 degrees. So 2 degrees off of Chris Barnes. That's not too shabby, my friend. And the ball doesn't hardly bounce at all here. Just a very slight, almost imperceptible bounce. It goes into its roll, just like Barnes. So nice game you have, Tom. So I'm sure you'll be doing some other things this afternoon. But I think one of the things I'd like to talk with you about if we work together again today is the what I call the 26-step drill, or the walk-up drill, which will help you get back to your natural style. I want to work some more with your balance at the foul line. I like to work some more with speed control and lane play, on advanced lane play issues. And overall, I think these small things we worked on today are going to have a big impact. We saw huge changes in your launch angle accuracy and consistency today, and that's one of the most important factors. And the fact now that you have great speed control and the ability to go slower and faster is going to put your game at the next level. So it was a very great pleasure to work with you, and especially somebody who's from out there in Texas and knows Susie Minshew and Bill Harris, the late Bill Harris. And I will certainly call Susie and tell her I had the pleasure of meeting you. So good luck to you. I hope I get to work with you more today. If not, have a great trip back home and come and see us again. And I'll send you some emails about the drills and how they are supposed to be done. And if you have any questions or any problems come up or any good scores come up also, give me a call or send me an email. My numbers are on your card. Okay? Thanks again. It was great to work with you.